Cyberpunk 2077 has an insane amount of hidden details, secrets, and unique dialogue that only the most astute players will discover. I covered 77 different secrets about Cyberpunk in a big video I did last year, but there is so much more to uncover, so I thought, why not do a round 2? What's up everyone, Big Dan here, and in this video, we're going to explore 69 more secrets that only veteran players know about in Cyberpunk 2077. Nice! So without further ado, let's buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and dive into the video. If you're a veteran Cyberpunk player like me, then you may relate to the sentiment of wanting to just skip through Act 1 as quick as possible on repeat playthroughs. V cannot access 90% of the map until the heist is completed, and considering that mission alone takes 2 hours to finish, you're most likely going to take 4 hours until you get into the heart of the main game. However, there is a way to skip Act 1 completely. If you have the Phantom Liberty DLC, then you can start a new game with a pre-leveled character that immediately unlocks the expansion. In this case, the game will open up with a unique cutscene not seen anywhere else in the game.
So, Konpeki Plaza heist. Supposed to transform your life, wasn't it? Mark the beginning of the end instead, huh? Both the Emperor and a lowly Haywood Pawn met their maker that day, while you got a relic to the brain, meaning that experimental Arasaka biochip. And who was on it? Enter yours truly, Johnny Silverhand. Pleased to meet ya. Thing is, relic's now devouring your mind, bit by bit. Voodoo boys used you as bait. Alt can't do a damn thing to help you. And you're still dying. Know you want to save your ass, V, but remember, survival's got its price. Up to you whether you're willing to pay it, friend.
V? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, whoever you are.
Interestingly, this method doesn't only skip the Act 1 quests. You will also automatically complete all of Evelyn Parker and the Voodoo Boys questline, which is required for starting the DLC in any case. But you will also complete Sandra Dorsett's side quest Full Disclosure and Delamain's entire questline. This is a great way to bypass the early game grind on repeat playthroughs, as I personally hate spending 3 to 4 hours getting access to the full map on my 9th playthrough. However, I do also hate that I miss out on some great content from Act 2, and that I cannot actually allocate my skill points in character creation. So for most playthroughs, I'm still going to choose to grind through Act 1. There are a handful of very interesting, unique conversations you can encounter if you complete the Phantom Liberty DLC before specific quests in the base game. I talked about some unique dialogue with Rogue, Anders Hellman, Lizzie Wizzy, and Alt Cunningham in my first big Cyberpunk Secrets video, which I'll link in the description. But one conversation I haven't mentioned yet is a piece of rare dialogue we can get with Mitch. Assuming you sided with Songbird and sent her to the moon during the end of the DLC, then V is forced to shoot Reed. If you completed all this before meeting up with Mitch for Scorpion's funeral, then you will unlock this unique dialogue option when discussing fallen friends.
So many dead. So many of them good friends, too. Do you know what it's like to lose your best friend?
Solomon Reed was his name. Top FIA agent. Can you believe it? Don't know why I thought of him. Things were complicated between us.
Yeah, he must have been important to you in spite. How did he fall?
I put him down. Had no choice. Had to sacrifice his life to save someone else's.
Oh.
Anyway, come on. Help me out with something.
If you sided with Meredith Stout during the pickup, then you can actually find Anthony Gilchrist's body later in the game. If you head to this spot on the map, which is close to the overpass where you initially met with Meredith, then you can find Anthony dead in the gutter, triggering this conversation with Johnny.
Had it coming, I guess.
Who's that? friend of yours?
Corpo rat. Schemer. Had some dealings with him. Long past.
Our choice of life path unlocks unique dialogue options from time to time. Most of these dialogue choices are just there for flavor, however, there are some unique circumstances where our life path can lead to better rewards. One example of this is during the quest Pisces, where Maiko and Judy plot to overthrow the Tiger Claw's boss of clouds. If you decide to side with Maiko at the end of the quest, she will offer V a reward for your cooperation. And if you're playing as a street kid, you can negotiate for an even higher payout in this unique dialogue.
Thanks, V. First transfer from Cloud's new manager coming your way.
You blackmailed the leaders of one of Night City's most powerful gangs. Really think you'd have come out the other end alive if I hadn't been there.
Fine. I'll give you double, but that's my final offer.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. I know what a well-performed service is worth.
The hell did you do, V?
Just be aware that taking the money will cause Judy to hate you forever, eventually leaving Night City and blocking your number. Corpos can also finesse a higher payout than other life paths during Joshua Stevenson's questline. After parking at the diner, Rachel will pull you aside and offer you a bag to walk away, as she's concerned your conversations with Joshua will negatively impact the quality of the brain dance and therefore the studio's bottom line. At this point, if you're playing as a Corpo, you'll unlock a unique option to negotiate for a higher bribe from Rachel.
So I'm prepared to pay you double what he's promised you to quietly walk away.
Don't do it, V.
Please. I know what kind of budgets BDs get. You can do better than that. Lots better.
Fine. Triple. And you disappear like the morning dew off North Oak front yards.
Deal.
Fucking pathetic.
Very wise choice. Don't follow me in. I'll tell Stevenson you said goodbye.
Personally, you're still better off completing the quest, as you end up getting paid well in the end anyway, assuming the BD shoot went well. Speaking of which, your conversations with Joshua Stevenson during this questline actually do impact the creative process for the Crucifixion brain dance. Assuming you follow everything through until the bitter end, the studio will complete their production work on The Passion. However, depending on your dialogue choices with Joshua, the quality of the final product will be affected. If you chose generally supportive dialogue options and assuaged Joshua's fears, then Rachel will call a few days later, elated at how well things turned out.
Hey! Seen the opening numbers? Stevenson's a hit.
Congrats, I guess.
You were great. Get all that shit I said to you. Eddie's will hit your pocket soon. And should I mention there'll be a bonus? Enjoy!
This will result in the largest payout for the quest chain. However, if you planted seeds of doubt in Joshua's head before the brain dance was filmed, then Rachel will be singing a different tune when she calls V.
You stupid fucking cunt! You happy?
What's your problem?
You everything up sideways! He doubted? Hesitated? We didn't get that damn oomph!
Couldn't give the slimmest shit.
Why'd I even let you talk to him? You softened him up. I'll burn you to the f***ing ground! Good luck ever finding another job!
Hey bitch, have you ever thought about doing another take with a body double? It's not my problem you suck at your job. During the Corpo prologue of the game, V and your boss at Arasaka, Jenkins, will get sacked by the company after your plot against Abernathy's life is exposed. But have you ever wondered, how did Abernathy find out about your plan so quickly? Well, as it turns out, we can actually discover the answer to that. If you drive across the bridge at this location on the map, you'll discover a crashed car pulled along the bridge. Next to the car, you'll find a shard detailing a conversation between Abernathy and a man named Carter Smith, who you can actually meet during the Corpo prologue. The exchange suggests that perhaps Carter was coming to the bridge to take his own life after exposing V and Jenkins. And if you dive into the water below, you can actually find his body as well, complete with another shard revealing a conversation between Carter and his mother. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, homeboy got what was coming to him. Bro should have never snitched on V. There is a missable unique item that V can discover during Judy's diving mission Pyramid Song. While exploring the sunken town with Judy, V can find a curious necklace sitting in a pile of trash outside the church.
And this, what is it?
Oh, no way. Can't be. You found the heart of Laguna Bend. The most precious gem in all Cali, maybe even the world, could buy all of Arasaka and Militech and then some for it.
For real?
Nah, I got no idea what that is.
Curiously, the necklace has the same in-game model as V's necklace that Misty crafted for us from the bullet that Vic removed from our noggin. Sometimes your decision to take a stealthy approach or just go straight to violence can have an actual impact on mission objectives. During the quest Riders on the Storm, Pan Am will encourage you to sneak into the Wraith's compound and rescue Saul without getting into combat. If you manage to pull this off, then the three of you can escape with no issue. However, if you get into a firefight with the Wraiths, then you'll actually get attacked by an additional group of them while escaping the compound. The most hilarious way to ride into combat here is to just drive the van straight into the camp, much to the chagrin of Pan Am.
Have you lost your damned mind?
Hop out and let's get to work. I'll cover you with that.
There is a Keanu Reeves Easter egg which we can easily miss during Carrie Uridine's questline. If you resolve things peacefully with the Us Cracks, then Carrie will perform a set with them at the Dark Matter Club. At this point, instead of running right up to meet Carrie, if you hang back, you'll overhear this line, which may be familiar to you.
Carrie, over here! Here!
Thank you.
You're breathtaking, Carrie!
You're breathtaking.
This is an Easter egg to Keanu Reeves' presentation about Cyberpunk 2077 at E3 2019. As Keanu Reeves took the stage, a fan yelled out, "You're breathtaking," triggering a call and response from Keanu.
Is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
Many people know about the massive changes to combat and skills that were introduced in Cyberpunk's 2.0 update, but CDPR also made some stealthy changes to other content in the game that wasn't specifically called out in the patch notes. One of these changes involved a particularly awkward family photo we receive in a text message from River. Sometime after completing River's personal quest, The Hunt, we would receive a photo message from River visiting Randy in the hospital, assuming he was saved from Edgewood Farm. And this photo became a bit of a meme in the Cyberpunk community, owing to the awkward and stilted poses of the characters and the oddly realistic-looking teddy bear in the foreground of the frame. The image kind of reminds me of Tally's original photo in Mass Effect 3, which was basically a stock photo that BioWare photoshopped to look like a Quarian. Well, now CDPR has revamped this photograph and replaced it with a less awkward composition in the 2.0 update. Here is a side-by-side comparison of the two images. While I like what they've done with the new photo, I must admit I kind of miss the original. I always got a big laugh anytime I saw it, so I'm kind of sad it's been replaced. But never fear, the awkward Ward family photo will always live on in the memes. As many of you know, all of the missions in Cyberpunk 2077 are named after songs. What you may not know is that certain missions have different code names in the game files. For instance, the mission Cool Metal Fire, where Johnny takes over V's body to find dirt on Atom Smasher, has a very curious name in the game files. SQ031, Smack My Bitch Up. I found this hilarious, and even on a more meta level, this codename is also named after a popular song, the 1997 track by The Prodigy. Could the Voodoo Boys be responsible for killing Mayor Lucius Rhyne? One interesting detail we can discover during the quest I Fought the Law suggests a possible connection between the Voodoo Boys and the mayor's death. While infiltrating the Red Queen's race, which is the place where Rhyne met his untimely demise, likely at the hands of a virally spiked BD headset, if you pay close attention to the TV screens throughout the club, you'll notice Vive markings present on many of these screens. Vive markings are religious symbols tied to Haitian voodoo, and we see these kinds of symbols in other places controlled by the Voodoo Boys. So is it possible that the Voodoo Boys were somehow involved in the mayor's assassination? At this point, the Red Queen's race is completely overrun by the Animals gang, who were hired by Weldon Holt to smash up the club and prevent anyone from snooping around. And given the animosity between the Animals and the Voodoo Boys, it's interesting that we find Vive markings on these screens. Perhaps the Voodoo Boys just hacked into the club's network to spy on the Animals, considering they also occupied the Grand Imperial Mall on the payroll of Netwatch. So perhaps the Voodoo Boys were just casting a wider net and monitoring Animals' activity in other parts of the city as well. Or perhaps they did have some involvement in the mayor's final moments, and these markings are remnants of their activities, almost like a call sign saying the Voodoo Boys were here. In any case, V never does find a smoking gun tying any specific individual or group to the mayor's death. But if anything is clear, it's that the dude most likely didn't die from a heart attack, like the official NCPD narrative said. While exploring the office computer terminal in the Red Queen's race, V can stumble upon a message with a reference to Fight Club. The club's getting more popular, we're getting more and more VIPs. Goes without saying that's a good thing, but it doesn't mean we can let our guard down. Just yesterday, an unidentified person managed to break into the club and spend upwards of 20 minutes inside before anyone noticed. Unacceptable. Let me reiterate. Don't talk about the club. No invitation, no entry. Report any suspicious persons to security. Don't talk about the club, and again, don't talk about the club. This, of course, is a nod to the first rule of Fight Club: you do not talk about Fight Club. During the quest Human Nature, V's ride is smashed up by a rogue Delamain moments after you retrieve it from the mega building garage. One interesting detail about this quest is that Johnny's dialogue will be different depending on whether or not you met Takemura at the diner yet. It's during this conversation that Johnny essentially makes up with V, or at least decides he no longer wants our protagonist dead. So his tone during this interaction will be a bit different, depending on whether or not he had that change of heart yet. If Delamain crashes into your car after you chatted with Johnny at the diner, then the conversation goes like this.
Johnny, did you see what happened? Something feels off here.
You don't say.
Don't mean the wreck. I mean the run. City's most courteous chauffeur ups and drives away from the scene of an accident.
However, if you head straight to the garage before meeting Takemura at the diner, then you'll get this dialogue instead.
What the hell happened?
Looks like everyone in this fucking town's out to end you. Makes me feel like an amateur. A hack.
Ugh, shut up. Gotta find out why Night City's most courteous is upgraded to hit and runs.
Probably couldn't stand you anymore either.
I said, shut up.
Many of you are familiar with Jackie Wells' funeral service in Act 2. However, did you know you can also find graffiti memorializing our Choom in Night City? If you explore Haywood and keep an eye out on tags in the neighborhood, you can find some graffiti that pays homage to Jackie Wells. If you completed Delamain's questline and you have Skippy equipped to your character, then you can overhear this banter between Skippy and Delamain.
Fun fact, women account for 44% of road rage victims.
Impressive weaponry.
Why, thank you.
The entrance to Dogtown is heavily guarded and gate-kept by Barghest soldiers. Once the DLC is started, you can enter the district by passing through security in your car, which just involves a quick scan at the Barghest checkpoint. However, there is one type of vehicle that you cannot drive if you hope to make it into the district. If you try to enter Dogtown while driving an NCPD cruiser, then you will be denied entry, and this less than friendly message will display on the gate. Damn, Barghest, Tell him how you really feel. Did you know you can meet Solomon Reed even if you don't have the Phantom Liberty DLC? If you head to the club at this location on the map, you'll see a familiar face working as a bouncer at Dino's bar.
Try me. Hold up there. What?
As we know, Reed is a dormant FIA agent before the events of Phantom Liberty, so don't blow his cover, dog. While trying to track down Reed in Phantom Liberty, V will utilize an old landline phone in an abandoned diner to contact him. The code to dial up Reed is 0931, however, there are some other interesting Easter eggs you can discover if you try some different numbers. For example, if you dial 617-555-6277, then you'll be greeted with the song Never Fade Away.
Whoa.
If you dial 574-555-2377, then you'll get a tune from the Witcher 3 soundtrack.
What the?
There is a secret FIA phone booth hidden in the oil fields of Northside that hides a dark secret. Not too far from Johnny's grave location, we can find this phone in an abandoned shack with gym equipment strewn outside. And most interestingly, if you try to enter a specific number, you can trigger a strange cutscene. Typing in the numbers 43774-946 will cause this to happen. What in the hell could this mean? Typing in this code causes our cyberware to reboot and a Bakaneko to appear briefly. Once our cyberware reboot is complete, the cat is nowhere to be seen. Given that Reed had a presence in Night City outside Dogtown, I wonder if he used this spot as a safe house or point of contact. In any case, the mysterious cyberware reboot and Bakaneko appearance present a lot more questions than answers for us. If you have any theories about this hidden cutscene, let me know in the comments below. Given that Keanu Reeves had a prominent Hollywood career prior to his role as Johnny Silverhand, we can find a few Easter eggs for his movies in Cyberpunk 2077. One of his most famous roles is John Wick, so naturally we can find a John Wick Easter egg in the Phantom Liberty DLC. If you explore the weapons dealer in Dogtown Stadium, you'll find a weapon case addressed to Mr. Wick, triggering this quick appearance from Johnny.
Oh, fuck.
But the gig that really kicked off Keanu's career was his role as Neo in The Matrix. Most of you are probably familiar with the Matrix Easter egg during the quest Cool Metal Fire, but there is actually another one hidden in a much more secluded place in Dogtown. If you follow the catwalk outside the Honest Hearts Club, climb on top of the nearby bridge, and scale the scaffolding into a nearby abandoned building, you can discover two chairs positioned next to a table with a blue pill and a red pill, an homage to one of the most famous scenes from The Matrix. Did you know you can find the founders of CD Projekt Red inside Cyberpunk 2077? During the Phantom Liberty DLC, you can find two familiar faces working as brain dance vendors in the Dogtown Stadium. These two characters are modeled after and voiced by Marcin Iwinski and Michael Krasinski. God, I'm probably butchering those names, but in any case, they're the two guys who founded CD Projekt Red all the way back in 1994. If you send Songbird to the moon in the Phantom Liberty DLC, then there is a hidden thank you message you can discover tucked away in the downtown region. Head to this location on the map and proceed into the alleyway to find a BD headset with a message from our Netrunner baddie friend.
If you're watching this, you know how our story ended. I'm a smidge jealous, I'll admit. I'm scared, V. But I need to trust you, and I do. And if you're watching this, I was right to. So, I thank you.
One interesting detail that many players miss is that the journal entries for quests and jobs in Cyberpunk 2077 are written from an external perspective. In Act 1, all of the quest descriptions are written from Jackie's point of view. For example, the journal entry for the heist reads, "There's only one door you gotta open in Night City, and that's the door to the afterlife. Once you cross into that world, peeps will step aside for you everywhere. Dex couldn't have chosen a better place to pregame before the heist, am I right? Afterlife's a sign for us, SA." However, after the heist and Jackie's untimely demise, the quest descriptions are written from Johnny's perspective for the rest of the game. No more Cabrones, Chica, or SA in our journal. Now all we get are Johnny's signature skepticism, snark, and anti-Corpo rants. For instance, the journal entry for Dream On reads, "Well, well, special favors for politicians. You think you've got any clout here? The Prowlezes might seem like decent and down-to-earth folk, not sitting snug in the corpse pockets like the rest. But they're still part of the ruling elite, V. If they gotta step over you to get to the top, they won't hesitate. Don't believe even for a second that they're any different." I love these small details about Cyberpunk 2077. Rather than just writing a straightforward quest description, this approach gives our journal entries a bit more pizzazz. During the quest Play for Time, V has the opportunity to do a bit of trolling. After escaping the area following the Oda boss fight, V can stumble upon N54 news reporter Jillian Jordan reporting on Hanako's kidnapping. If you're feeling particularly devious, you could sabotage the news segment by stepping into the frame.
3, 2, 1. This is Jillian Jordan of N54 News coming to you live from Japan. Hey, stay out of the shot. Oh, damn it. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1. This is Jillian Jordan of N54 News coming to you live from Japantown. Hey, stay out of the shot.
Thank you. People are working here.
Hilariously, we can do the same thing to old Jillian during the Phantom Liberty DLC. If you side with Songbird, then you can find Jillian Jordan interviewing a representative from Orbital Air inside the spaceport during the Killing Moon mission. If you step into the camera frame, Songbird will see that you.
That name, but the ongoing renovations here just might think. So
Get away from there.
While Jillian won't initially complain about V's uninvited cameo, after the interview is done, you can overhear her saying this.
Gah, Orbital Air's dullest suit ever, that guy. And of course, some idiot had to walk into the shot.
Dude, I love stuff like this. There is a hilariously bad choice we can make during the quest Killing Moon. While passing through security at the spaceport, Songbird will ask you to stall the guard while she fabricates a fake identity for you. However, if you ignore Songbird's request and look at the camera too soon, then this happens.
Don't yet. Buy me some time. Need to link your metrics to a fake profile.
ID unknown. Show me your ticket.
Told you to wait. Be done stat.
Nah, no ticket here. And to find a cozy nook in the luggage hold.
Got a code yellow.
Damn it.
A fucking code yellow you.
Code red.
Hey, get up.
words you're looking for are, fuck me, I think.
Detainees awake.
Either charge me all official or let me go. Gotta do one or the other.
We don't gotta do anything, friend.
Get yourself together, V. Got good news and shit news. Latter first. They've locked you up. Upside. Lockup's actually inside the Taiko terminal. You know, you didn't have to take that guard for a ride. OA has exactly no sense of humor.
Give me a hand to get out of here?
Tell you what, get me access to the system. Find a port, jack in, I'll see what's possible. Just don't let the guards see you.
At this point, you'll have to break out of prison and proceed through Taiko Terminal as normal. Not the craziest consequence, but pretty funny nonetheless. There is an Easter egg to the 1987 movie Predator during the Phantom Liberty DLC. During the Killing Moon mission, before you enter the spaceport, if you jump onto the roof of the parking garage, you'll stumble upon a jungle area which V will comment on.
One big-ass, lusciously green roof, huh?
Humongous, sure. Now get through the gate. Okay, on the port snipe. Interior clear of bogies. Danik and Cyber.
Hidden amongst the makeshift jungle, you can see a cloaked individual who appears to have mantis blades. You cannot target them with weapons, and when they spot V, they'll begin to run away, eventually disappearing seemingly into thin air when they reach the edge of the glass. After Rosalind Myers' plane gets shot down by Kurt Hansen, Songbird hits the eject button and crash lands in Dogtown, getting separated from Myers in the process. Curiously, we can actually find her escape pod by heading to this location on the map in Dogtown. As we approach the burned up wreckage, Johnny will say this.
Well. A used up blast pod in the middle of fucking Dogtown. Looks like our Songbird had a roughish landing.
Sure did. And a hell of a lot of luck to survive.
I'd pin that on skill.
If you decide to help Reed capture and bring Songbird back to the FIA, then Rosalind Myers will award V with an NUSA medal. Afterwards, Reed tells us a story about how Songbird gave her service medal away to a homeless man.
You know, Somi got the same medal. Just after her first FIA op, she gave it to a homeless man on 21st. The guy just pinned it to his jacket like it was nothing. And asked for spare change.
V can actually follow in Songbird's footsteps by giving his medal away to a hobo in Pacifica.
Here, take it.
You sure? Looks like it's worth, well, a ton.
Not worth a damn to me anymore. Do what you will with it.
For some reason, I instantly regretted this choice and tried to nab the medal back, but sadly could not loot it from the hobo's cold dead hands. During the gig Dogtown Saints, V will have to rescue a local Ripper Doc trapped in a clinic full of scabs. When we find the Doc, he is being held at gunpoint by a crazed woman named Nika. Typically, this quest will end with us flatlining Nika, but if we let things play out without intervening, we can get a unique ending. If you spared Nika, you can actually stumble upon her later in the game and have a unique conversation. Head to this location on the map in Dogtown, and you'll see Nika mourning at her brother's grave.
Why, Gaspar? Why?
Hey, Nika. Hanging in there?
What are you doing here?
It's all right. Was just walking by.
Hanging in there. Do I have a choice?
Listen, me and the scabs don't exactly get along. Be good to keep our ways separate.
I won't go looking for you, that's for sure.
I'll leave you alone.
I am already.
One other interesting detail is that Nika is voiced by Deborah Wild, who is most famous for her role as Lae'zel in Baldur's Gate 3. Recently, I made a video showcasing every way you can fail missions in Cyberpunk 2077. And one of my personal favorite mission fails is during the quest Venus Infers. This quest literally just involves meeting Meredith Stout in a hotel room and getting your thang on. However, if you get cold feet, you can actually just run out of the room, causing you to fail the mission as Meredith roasts you.
Running away? That's rich.
Talk about missing a layup. After completing the main quest, Play for Time, and Search and Destroy, V may get attacked in a random encounter by Arasaka goons. In my case, I barely survived this encounter as the Arasaka agents were well above my level, but once I took them down, I discovered this shard detailing a bounty placed on Hanako's kidnapper. Wanted for the abduction of H.A. Target name V, alias. Known accomplices, Takemura Goro. Objective, elimination. Warning, heavily armed and extremely dangerous. V really just can't catch a break, huh? Did you know the creator of the Cyberpunk universe makes a cameo in Cyberpunk 2077? Maximum Mike is a radio DJ who spouts conspiracy theories on the Moro Rock radio station. And Homeboy is actually voiced by Mike Pondsmith, the legendary creator of the Cyberpunk TTRPG and universe. What many players miss is that his conspiracy monologues actually reveal deep lore secrets about the Fourth Corporate War that aren't mentioned anywhere else in the main story. So his rants are actually a great resource for lore buffs.
Loyal listeners, a special bulletin. Saburo Arasaka, the ancient patriarch of the Arasaka Corporation, has died. Just kidding, folks. You're too smart for that. You and I both know he's not really dead. Saburo Arasaka has spent nearly 100 years now on a quest for eternal life. He's guarded around the clock by a private army and lived for the better part of the century in a med tank designed to regenerate organic tissue. Guys like that, they don't just die. They certainly don't just get murdered by rivals.
Are you
What
fucking
would Saburo
crazy?
even be doing in Night City? No, folks, this is a smokescreen for something. And it wouldn't be the first time. If you're old enough to remember the Fourth Corporate War, there was a widespread report that Saburo had been killed by the Japanese SDF in a bid to end the war. Of course, it turned out not to be true, and the war dragged on for another year. No, you can take this one to the bank. It's only a matter of time before Saburo's going to show up on TV, tell us all he's back as CEO and ready to take the Arasaka Corporation into the next century.
Y'all remember that sad Keanu Meme photo that popped off back in the early 2010s? Well, hilariously, the CDPR devs added this as an Easter egg in the 2.1 update. While riding the Metro, Johnny will sometimes appear on the opposite seat, mimicking the pose from this iconic Keanu meme. Bryce Mosley is a Netwatch agent who we first encounter during the main story, where we infiltrate the Grand Imperial Mall on behalf of the Voodoo Boys. But there is one curious detail we can find in the open world, which may suggest Bryce isn't the man we think he is. If you head to this location on the map, near the underground tunnel that connects Pacifica and Haywood, you can find a group of dead Netwatch agents and Voodoo Boys on a nearby rooftop. A shard next to one of the Voodoo Boys reveals that these VDBs went rogue and were cutting a deal with Netwatch behind Placide's back, something which obviously didn't turn out well. But most interestingly, next to one of the dead agents, we can find a Netwatch badge with the name Bryce Mosley. Is it possible that this is the real Bryce Mosley? If that's the case, then who is the man we met in the GIM? I've seen conflicting theories floated by different fans. Some believe that the Netwatch agent we meet in the GIM is too chromed up, so perhaps he isn't involved with Netwatch at all. But others have suggested that the dead agent we find in Pacifica was likely just a decoy or body double, and that the Bryce Mosley we met in the main story is the real deal. I tend to lean more towards the latter theory, but let me know what you think down in the comments. The CDPR devs are known to sometimes hide tiny details in the game's menus. Many of you have probably seen what happens when you click on the fingerprint in the character creator, as that is a well-known Easter egg. But one lesser-known one can be found on the main menu today. In the top right corner, the game displays which patch version of Cyberpunk you are using. Clicking on that patch number or pressing P will bring up details about what's been added in that patch. However, if you right-click on the patch number, it will briefly glitch to display 2077 instead. A cool little detail for those who like to poke around. The Phantom Liberty DLC obviously added a bunch of new quests and gigs for us to explore, but there are also a fair amount of unmarked quests in Dogtown if you know where to look. One of these unofficial quests involves a new breed of cyber psychos that have cropped up in the district. Throughout Dogtown, you can run across 11 different hostile mini-bosses who went cyber psycho after taking a new designer drug called Fant. This drug is being run on the streets by scavs, and the side effects basically trigger acute cyberpsychosis in chromed-up users. Unfortunately for these cyber junkies, they don't have Regina Jones to advocate on their behalf or do research for them, so V is free to flatline all of them with no consequences. One of these cyber junkies is actually an Easter egg for the Marvel character Blade. When approaching the Anatomicon building near Terra Incognita, you'll be jumped by an invisible katana-wielding individual who bears a striking resemblance to Blade. The dude is named Wesley Hunt, which is a nod to Wesley Snipes, who played Blade in the 1998 movie. Most times you buy a new ride on the Auto Fixer, it immediately gets added to your inventory. But there is at least one special case where you have to jump through a few extra hoops. When you buy the replica Porsche 911 from the Auto Fixer, El Capitan lets you know that the owner crashed out at the last minute and fled with the vehicle. This kicks off the quest Shape of a Pony. Hilariously, when you arrive at the scene of the car's last known location, you'll find a dude cosplaying as Johnny, triggering this conversation.
Hey, over here. This is a bit of a deja vu.
Eventually, you'll track down the vehicle to the gang goons who stole it, recovering this sick new Porsche. The CDPR devs are big anime fans, so you can find Easter eggs for a bunch of different series in Cyberpunk 2077. We talked about the Akira reference in my last Secrets video, but one other anime that gets a bunch of references in 2077 is Ghost in the Shell. For starters, Judy's caller ID photo is a literal Ghost in the Shell depiction. Judy also has a tattoo of this on her left shoulder. The Chimera boss fight in the Phantom Liberty DLC is heavily inspired by the spider tank fight from Ghost in the Shell, down to the arena layout and finisher animation. The name of the Yaiba Kusanagi motorcycle is a nod to Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. There is a Star Wars/Final Fantasy Easter egg in the Phantom Liberty DLC. While exploring the expo hall during Spider and the Fly, where V rescues Rosalind Myers from Hansen's goons, you can uncover a conversation between Biggs and Wedge on a computer terminal. Biggs and Wedge are X-Wing pilots in Star Wars A New Hope. Two characters with the same names were also part of Avalanche in Final Fantasy VII. In fact, Biggs and Wedge are recurring characters in a number of Final Fantasy games, though they're not actually the same guys in each game. One interesting detail you may notice during the mission I've seen that face before is that Farida is reading about one of your past gigs when you arrive. If you take a closer look at her computer terminal, you'll see that she was reading a story about Anthony Harris, who was brought to justice by River and V during the hunt. If you head to Yoko's Netrunner store in Kabuki, you'll notice a set of arcade machines in the back corner. These include actual playable mini-games, which can give V in-game rewards. If you manage to get the high score on the Trauma Drama arcade shooter game, you'll get a unique Trauma Team outfit and Trauma Team AV statue for your apartment. Personally, I didn't have the patience to grind this one out. While exploring the stadium market in Dogtown, you can run across an unmarked quest by finding this damaged robot inside a shipping container. Jacking into the nearby computer terminal will connect you with the robot, who sends you a brief fetch quest throughout the stadium. During this quest, you'll need to recover various bits of the robot's software, which are stashed in a bunch of locations throughout the stadium. Once you've collected all 5 pieces, you'll learn that Hansen trashed the robot, and you'll have an opportunity to either wipe its memory or repair it, which requires 15 intelligence. Sadly, I didn't have a Netrunner build for this playthrough, so my V lacked the intelligence to repair the robot. But if you do manage to repair it, you'll kick off another leg of the quest, which eventually ends with this robot becoming a new vendor. There is a big Lebowski reference during the quest Disaster Piece, where Judy and V try to find Evelyn Parker. While searching for leads, V has the option to peruse the net to try and extract info from the XBD website. While on this leg of the quest, V can stumble upon this message. The Dude. Good times, chill vibes, no rush, no stress, no drama. All the rest, the Dude abides. The Dude is, of course, the iconic protagonist of The Big Lebowski, and the Dude abides. In patch 2.2, CDPR added an unmarked quest which contains a crossover with the game Balatro. The quest begins when a dude named Jim B texts us about an Easter egg hunt throughout Night City. In this hunt, V will have to track down various Joker graffiti to uncover artistic shards throughout town. Once you've managed to track down all 10 locations, you'll receive a unique Joker t-shirt and card display for V's apartment. There is a Witcher 3 reference hidden underwater just outside Pacifica. If you go beneath the bridge connecting Haywood and Pacifica, you can find 3 crates suspended underwater, held up by 3 buoys. These are, of course, a reference to the many smuggler caches we could loot underwater in The Witcher 3, particularly in the Skellige region. If you then swim to the nearby docks, you'll find a shard next to a poor dead Choom, which basically captures the experience of looting these things in The Witcher 3. I was so close. Thousands of caches and stashes, all marked with that tantalizing question mark. The mark of smugglers. But in the end, it was always the same. Broken nets, fishing rods, hooks, and lines. It's a game. A cruel, ludicrous game. One genuine find for every 1,000 fakes. One ace for a deck of spades. A queen hidden within a swarm of pawns. I promised myself I'd find it, even if it cost me my life. Thousands of stashes, and I only have one left. But the exhaustion's gotten to me. I can't go on. This obsession has destroyed not only my mind, but my body too. Bitter frustration is all that remains. If you find my note, finish what I started. Find the cache with the question mark. It's under the southernmost pillar of the NC Ring Road overpass that joins Haywood to Pacifica. Don't let my hard work be in vain. Bro, as someone who just did a 100% run of The Witcher 3, I feel for this guy. Pour one out for the homie. Those smuggler caches ain't gonna loot themselves. There are a handful of Breaking Bad Easter eggs we can discover in Cyberpunk 2077. If you venture out into the Badlands at this location on the map, you'll find a drug-cooking van that bears a striking resemblance to the one Walter and Jesse used for their operation in Breaking Bad. Also, throughout Night City, you can occasionally run across pizzas on rooftops, which is a reference to the scene where Walter throws a pizza onto his roof in frustration. There is a unique BD headset we can get from Lizzie Wizzy during the Phantom Liberty DLC. While infiltrating the Black Sapphire to reconnect with Songbird, we can witness a Lizzie Wizzy concert performance. Once our business at the roulette tables is done, we can find Lizzie at the bar and have a quick chat with her. If you successfully completed Lizzie's side quest, Violence, prior to this conversation, we can comment on Lizzie's headset, in which case she will gift it to us.
Hey there, Lizzie.
V, what are you doing here?
Could legitimately ask you the same.
Yeah, I might be a little out of place, but I get around. And Dogtown, well, it always gets my blood coursing. Fortunately, I have darling Avi here. Avi's my new bodyguard. The best I've ever had, if a little too overprotective.
Pleasure, Avi. Headset's Nova, Lizzie.
Like it? Here, it's yours then.
For real?
Sure, got loads of them. You'll look like you're on Team LizWiz. It's liable to take you places. I want you to have it.
Wow. Thanks, Lizzie.
Takemura has a famous doppelganger who you can meet during the Phantom Liberty DLC, and if you do, you can unlock some unique dialogue with Goro during the main story. If you insist on meeting up with Takemura later at Wakako's parlor, then we can stumble upon this hilarious conversation.
Now, I may not be good with names, but I do have quite a talent for faces. Where have I seen yours before? On the TV? Very unlikely. But of course! Hideshi Hino! The man, the legend, in the flesh. Oh, you're just in time. Do you know who this is? Hideshi Hino, the late-night comedy host. He was brilliant before he fell off the wagon. Can you still do your famous "better buckle up"? No. Come on, you don't forget a thing like that. Just once, please. V, we should go in. Now.
Hideshi, don't leave this poor guy hanging.
This is not the best time. Truly. Oh, come on. I haven't heard it in years. Better buckle up!
Wow.
Hino-san, what happened to you? I do not know. I do not recognize myself. Are you happy? May we go?
Poor Goro, man. The guy just can't catch a break. Alternatively, we can point out that the homie ain't actually Hideshi Hino.
Ain't no Hideshi Hino, but my friend here is a comedian in his own right. Besides, Hideshi looks 10 times worse.
Is that so? Yet so alike. Well then listen to me, young man. You must take better care of yourself. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. I am beginning to doubt that.
Funnily enough, we can actually meet Hideshi Hino at the Black Sapphire and tell him that he looks like our buddy Takemura.
You look exactly like my friend, Goro Takemura.
Did he also just get out of rehab?
Truth be told, he's going through a kind of rehab himself. His family turned their backs on him. He lost his home, his implants.
Tragic. But such are the consequences of addiction. I have been through it all. Maybe your friend would like to try his hand at show business. I could use a double for rainy days.
Might actually take you up on that. I'll let him know.
Watch out. I will hold you to your word.
The conversation takes a dark turn if Takemura died before this mission.
You look exactly like my friend Goro Takemura.
Did he also just get out of rehab?
Sadly, he's no longer with us.
I am sorry to hear that. Please, accept my condolences.
Thanks.
If I can help in any way, you need only let me know.
If you take the time to explore the party at the Black Sapphire, you can run across some other familiar faces as well. Mr. Hands is chilling up on a balcony, waving V away when you approach.
Here as well, Hands?
Indeed. It's better if we're not seen together. I don't know you, but enjoy your evening.
Come on, Hands, admit it. You just don't want me third-wheeling on your date with a bad bish. You can also bump into former mayoral candidate Weldon Holt, who recently lost the election to Jefferson Peralez.
Yes? What is it?
Mr. Holt. Election's come and gone. You wound up on the short end. How you holding up?
Well, I don't treat it as a loss, you see. To me, it's a minor setback.
And interestingly, you can even bump into Maiko, assuming you put her in charge of Clouds, though sadly, she doesn't have any dialogue here. The CDPR devs are very supportive of the modding community, providing toolkits for modders and generally allowing fans to create whatever they want. However, there are some limits, as one modder found out the hard way. Shortly after launch, a Johnny Silverhand romance mod was released on Nexus, complete with a spicy romance scene. The mod essentially body swapped the Joy Toys with Johnny Silverhand. When CDPR caught wind of this mod, they banned it and got it taken down from Nexus. The reason they did this was to maintain a good business relationship with Keanu Reeves, not wanting his likeness to get used in ways that he did not sign up for when he agreed to play Johnny Silverhand. In an official statement, CDPR outlined their stance on the mod. Our most important rule regarding user-generated content, game mods in particular, is that it can't be harmful towards others. In the case of model swaps, especially those that involve explicit situations, it can be perceived as such by the people who lent us their appearance for the purpose of creating characters in Cyberpunk 2077. Therefore, when making fan content, creators have to make sure they've got permission from all the concerned parties, which might be people other than CD Projekt Red. For characters we've invented for the game, we broadly permit you to tweak the game at will and just have fun. When it comes to models of real people whom we've asked to participate in the game, we kindly ask you to refrain from using them in any situation that might be found offensive if you don't have their explicit permission. It's over for Johnny Cells. I guess you'll have to settle for the Robert Wilson romance mod instead. The CDPR devs hid a few messages in the game for players who get to places they're not really supposed to go. One of these can be encountered during the quest Gimme Danger. While escaping Arasaka Industrial Park, a Corpo AV will land and drop off some soldiers. If you hop on top of the AV, it will fly off and ride up to a nearby skyscraper. When it lands on the roof, the message "Well done" will display on the landing pad. Similarly, during the Killing Moon mission, if you manage to get into the vents above Tycho Terminal, when you reach the end of the vents, you'll see a message that says, "Well done, but go back." During the gig, Hippocratic Oath, V will have to rescue a doctor from Maelstrom captivity. After finding her, the doc will insist on finishing her treatment before leaving the facility. But if you take care of the patient yourself, in a manner of speaking, you'll get this unique dialogue.
Don't shoot! I'm a doctor, I'm not part of the gang.
Ditch him, we gotta go.
Text blacked out again, piece of shit. What do you mean, we have to go?
Your brother That's enough risk for one day.
What have you done? You're in my clinic. That was my patient.
Just doing my job, which is to get you out of here.
Fine, go ahead. Just hope it's worth it in the end, huh?
In the Biotechnica Flats, you can run across a Mad Max Easter egg. Head to this location on the map, and you'll discover the aftermath of a brutal firefight. Next to the body of a deceased woman, you'll find a shard detailing a conversation between Charlie's Fury and Fixer Dakota Smith. The whole scene is an Easter egg for the 2015 film Mad Max Fury Road, which featured Charlize Theron. One thing you may forget is that Cyberpunk 2077 was originally supposed to have an online multiplayer mode in addition to the base single-player experience. This mode was originally intended to launch with the game at release, but was delayed due to the game's rocky development, and then quietly scrapped with little fanfare. Personally, I think this was the right choice, as CDPR really needed to fix the base game and also put resources into developing Phantom Liberty. In the end, this led to a much better overall experience despite the rocky launch. But I do wonder if CDPR will revisit the idea of a multiplayer mode for Project Orion. That could be Kino, but I hope it wouldn't make them shift gears and basically abandon single-player games like Rockstar did after the success of GTA Online. The whole reason it's taken so long for us to get GTA 6 is that Rockstar was basically printing money with GTA Online, so they didn't need to make another GTA game. So I would really hope Cyberpunk wouldn't go down that road as well, but I guess only time will tell. After meeting with Dex early in Act 1, we're given the option to call up Meredith Stout as a way to get the Flathead bot from Maelstrom. When we call Meredith, she tells us to meet in a secluded spot below an overpass. But what happens if we're already at the meeting spot when we call Meredith? In this case, we'll get a semi-unique interaction.
Fine. First exit off Skyline driving towards the NID. Storm channel under the overpass. Meet you there.
No one. This job. Oh, sometimes it's hurry up and wait.
Look lively.
This dialogue is reused for other times V has to wait for a quest NPC, but it's interesting to see it used here. And I'd wager most players will miss this because obviously they're not going to be calling Meredith from the meeting location. There is a way to finesse Mr. Hands for a higher payment during the quest Run This Town. After the death of Kurt Hansen, Hands will call up V for an in-person meeting and give you a job to influence the selection of Barguest's next leader. However, if you turn Mr. Hands down for his proposal, he'll say this.
You will meet with Yago. You will convince him to back down.
Sorry, Hands. Rather keep my mitts out of politics for Lou.
And people complain when their ambivalence yields no progress. It seems you wasted a trip. Wait. I'll double your usual rate and provide support. Are you certain you want to leave?
Sharp, Hands. Got a keen eye for biz. I'm in. I'll handle it.
No, you won't. But Aguilar will.
If you reject Mr. Hands a second time, the quest will fail, but if you take him up on his offer, you'll end up getting a higher payment for the gig. So it's definitely worth using that old negotiation tactic of threatening to walk away in this case. One of the hardest missions to fail in Phantom Liberty is the gig Prototype in the Scraper. There was one specific moment in the mission where you have the option to abandon Hassan right when you extend the bridge to leave the skyscraper. Only problem is you're facing a steep drop, and most places you jump to will result in instant death. However, if you manage to survive the fall, you'll fail the quest and get this unique conversation with Mr. Hands.
This was not our arrangement, V. I give you a job, you complete the job. I trust I won't need to remind you again.
Hey, hang on a sec, Hands. Remember our deal?
Yes, the Black Sapphire. I have an entry strategy for you. Foolproof. Meet me at the Heavy Hearts.
Okay, be there soon.
There are a myriad of ways to fail the entire main story of the Phantom Liberty DLC, such as running away from the plane crash site before getting to Rosalind, abandoning Songbird before you head into Dogtown, or rejecting Rosalind's offer to track down Songbird. But one method I don't think I've talked about before happens during the quest Lucretia My Reflection. If you got tagged on the cam feeds earlier in the DLC while escaping with Rosalind through the metro tunnels, and you failed to erase the footage, then Hansen's goons will swarm on the Crest Street hideout as you arrive there with Reed. At this point, you'll need to enter the building with Reed and rescue Myers. However, if you run away instead, the mission will fail, locking you out of the whole main story of Phantom Liberty.
Don't got time for this! Out now!
In the aftermath, Reed and Myers are nowhere to be found, and you'll be permanently locked out of the Crest Street safe house. This is a tiny Easter egg that is easy to miss, and I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere else online, but if you watch the N54 TV news feeds, you will eventually see a story about an unknown Indian artist named Cranksy who sold his artworks for an exorbitant sum. A Man Rebooted is the newest work from the Indian tattoo artist who goes by the pseudonym Cranksy. The piece was held for auction and sold for 23 million eddies. Cranksy's true identity remains unknown. This character is clearly a nod to the real-life artist Banksy, a world-renowned anonymous British street artist whose true identity remains unknown as well, though some recent reporting by Reuters has narrowed down his potential identity. Banksy gained popularity in the early 2000s, with his most lucrative work selling for $25 million in 2021. One curious detail I noticed during the quest Sinnerman is that the weather will automatically change to bright and sunny whenever you start the meet with Bill Jablonski. No matter what the weather conditions are when you arrive at the meeting spot, the weather will just automatically clear up. If you side with Reed in the Phantom Liberty DLC, you'll have the opportunity to get either the Militech Kanto Blackwall Cyberdeck or the Erebus SMG after everyone's favorite survival horror mission in the Cynoshore facility. Interestingly, the Blackwall will speak to V through these weapons, occasionally offering commentary on quests and combat. If you have the Canto or Erebus equipped during Delamain's quest, Don't Lose Your Mind, then the Blackwall will make comments on your final choice for the mission.
Could be risking a lot, could lose a lot. Or by liberating his bits, could become more than a lipstick-wearing butler on wheels.
I detect algorithmic accretion. Consequences nested within one another.
Fuck yeah, nice.
What happens if you try to enter the afterlife early in Act 1? Well, unfortunately for you, the bouncer Emmerich won't let you in, as V hasn't earned enough rep yet.
Can I get in?
Referral?
What?
Just as I thought. Keep walking.
However, when you return to the afterlife later for the heist, Emmerich will remember you and have this unique dialogue.
You again? What do you want?
Name's V. This is Jackie Wells.
If you head to the Wraiths camp before going there with Pan Am during the quest Riders on the Storm, then V will actually mention this during the mission.
All right, I'm in position. I have you in range.
Been here before, you know.
Good. You survived once, so let's go for 2.
Interestingly, you'll be able to explore most of the base before Riders on the Storm, but Saul will be nowhere to be found, even if the mission's been added to your journal. During the Ballad of Buck Ravers, V will have to track down some vintage samurai records from an old fan named Kareem Noel. Kareem is skeptical of V's fandom and will initially refuse to sell you the records and merch. Usually at this point, you'll need to request Johnny's assistance for some intel that will help sway Kareem. However, if you're playing as a Corpo, you can bypass that part in this unique dialogue.
Don't know how you found out about them bootlegs, but forget it. Not gonna give them to the first gonk off the street.
Would the first gonk off the street know what they tell new Arasaka suits? They say, if a collar in training doesn't make deadline, the ghost of a man split in two will get him. Of course, nobody remembers the ghost is Johnny.
All right, I'm impressed. Getting someone from Saka to tell you that. You're not joking. You're really a Silverhand fan.
And last but not least, for number 69, we have a Harry Potter reference. If you head to the pumping station fast travel point in Wellspring, Haywood, turn around and go across the crosswalk, you'll find some graffiti painted with platform 69 3/4. This, of course, is a more crude reference to platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter, which hid the entrance to Hogwarts. But I'm thinking a far less magical place is hiding behind this wall in Cyberpunk. So there you have it. We've explored 69 more secrets and tiny details that only veteran players know about in Cyberpunk 2077. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more Cyberpunk and RPG videos. Big shout out to all my channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.